Hey, what's up, all you animation lovers out there? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din coming at you with another episode of Talking 2D, together with my eternal co-host in life, mate.
The man with the iron giblet.
That sounds like it would be uncomfortable to walk around with.
It is so uncomfortable. Just, just, and then you have to explain the metal clanging sound to everybody. They're just like, "What's that? I don't hear anything." You can only pretend you don't hear anything for so long, realistically.
It's like, that's just the sound of my girth, bitch.
It's the sound of my meaty clackers.
Oh, man. Alright, so, first on the agenda, gonna talk some One Piece.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. We're going to talk some One Piece, episode 966. Manga chapter this week. Anybody who was hoping for that, but we did get a new episode, and that shit was fucking incredible. Because
Yes.
once again, we continue the legend of the goat Kozuki Odin, and well, we come across one of the most fateful meetings in the entirety of One Piece history when Odin met Roger. Anybody who doubts Roger needs to just watch this episode, and then they can all shut the hell up. Because I've seen the Roger haters like, oh, he's overhyped, he's this, he's that. Nah, fool. Nah, you clearly don't understand. So let me demonstrate for you why Roger is the king of the fucking pirates. I love
Too
how both
true.
I love how both him and Whitebeard just kind of use their conqueror's hockey as a greeting, like, oh, oh.
It is such a thing because, like, with other situations, it's just like to scare and intimidate your enemies, to make it so that you have less problems to deal with, this, that, or the other. Now, here, it's just a way of saying hello. It's just like, what's up, you son of a
Yeah,
bitch?
not much, motherfucker. How you been?
Like, son of a bitch. You aren't dead yet? Oh my god, when are you gonna drop dead already?
You gonna make it today?
Man. And I love the extended fight scene with the entire crew. It was everything I could have hoped for.
Rayleigh is a fucking beast. Stopped Marco with his finger. His finger. Like, young man, I'm always very serious. So as you can tell, I don't need more than a finger to whoop your ass.
Like,
It's like,
seriously.
shh.
Like, this man wanted all the smoke. It
Rayleigh
was.
said, "But boy, you can't handle more than a finger."
It's just like, and that's all the bitches that I handle can handle. Oh man, it was on another level. But I also love the interaction after the fact too. Like when they're just like sitting down, trading and exchanging for different things. And when you think a fight's gonna break out, they just kind of just resolve it immediately. Like, oh man, sorry, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, basically, it's just like, listen, we already had the fight. You come on.
It's
You
one
want to keep fighting? No.
it's one of those situations where it's just like you already know who on the crew could kick your ass, so it's just like you know the level that you're on with whoever else is on the other crew. It's just like, I beat this guy's ass. He can't do shit to me.
Basically.
Oh man. And you gotta love that whole meeting that they had with Odin and Whitebeard and Roger all sitting down for a drink. It's just like, man, like they're just on that next level kind of shit, and I loved it.
So great. And I love how, like, you know, Roger's got a dream to see like that one island that nobody else believes is real. And you can tell from Whitebeard just going, Roger, that's a kid's dream. It's just like I believe it. I believe it, and I'm gonna find it.
Which is a thing that kind of gets me too, because you know there was a thing about that moment that kind of caught me off guard in the manga too, is because when Roger says what he's after, you know, there was this moment of silence in the manga, and I don't think they really did it justice in the anime, because it was the same moment of silence that Luffy had when he was saying what he wanted to Ace and Saba when they were little.
Basically, it's just the moment where like you know, it's when you make that declaration of what it is you want out of life, and people are just gonna be like, they're gonna doubt you, but like, you know, because of what your ambition sounds so lofty. But when you show like like how resolved you are to make it happen, um, well, there's really nothing they can do about it, more or less.
Yeah, I guess the thing that got me was because in the manga it seems like he said something specific, whereas the anime it comes off more like he had this whole long-winded explanation. And I guess it kind of hyped me up to think that it was some kind of something so out there to just say in one breath that seems so simple to Roger, but to everyone else, it's just like, no, that can't be it. What are you, a child? No.
Basically, it's one of those things where like the goal is so simple that people, um, like I said, they just equate it to being like a child because it's like, dude, what the fuck? Come on, what else you got? Be realistic. And it's just like, I am being realistic. This is what I want. I'm gonna do it.
I don't know. I feel like once we fully understand what that is, it'll be something like really out there, something we never would have even considered.
One thing I do want to mention, I love Roger's laugh. Like we haven't even seen like the most. We haven't even seen like the moment where his laugh is the most relevant. We're just seeing like his, you know, just plain old laugh, and it's just like even in that moment, it just has that energy you want out of life. You know, Roger's always just happy to fucking be here.
Honestly, Odin has that same kind of vibe to him.
Yeah, they really do. Like they're both just really fucking happy to be there. It's just that Roger's got better hands than Odin.
Right?
That's kind of what it ultimately boils down to because let's face it, Odin runs in like, nah, I got this, fuck these dudes. And then Roger comes in and says, hey, what up? Get these hands real quick. Smack! Odin's like, whoa, hold up. You actually knocked my ass back.
Man. And like that's that moment where it's just like he's never had that challenge before, which is insane. Because it's just like you have this dude who did all these feats when he was younger. No one was ever stronger than him. No one could ever do more than him. He was the baddest of the badasses in his hometown. But it's that rule that always says it's just like you might be a big fish where you're come from, but there's an entire sea, baby. Compared to that, you ain't nothing.
There's always a bigger fish.
Mm-hmm.
Roger was indeed that bigger fish.
Mm-hmm. is friggin' wild. But Odin being on Roger's ship, what did you think about all that?
First off, I love the way Roger was reacting with both Yori and Momonosuke. It's just like, oh, that's so that's that shit was so wholesome and just so precious. I couldn't even be mad at it. It's just like, oh, I forget sometimes that I have a heart, and then One Piece is just like, sure you do. Come on, man, look. Like, okay, fine, but that actually brings me to the end of the episode and Odin's famous catchphrase. Odin is not Odin unless it's boiled.
Mm-hmm. Like, my name
I
is
wonder how they're
Pickle.
gonna do.
Yeah,
I wonder
that.
how they're gonna do it in English
Yeah,
because like I want it to be like made simple.
because I like the way they do it in the Viz manga translation, where it's just like, hey, they say, my name is Odin, and I was born to boil.
Made to be boiled,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah. Like Odin, I
But I just
was
love that
made
he,
to boil.
yeah, and I just love that he's basically making Odin for for basically everybody he meets. Like, oh, you running with me? Here, have some Odin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, this shit's good. Yeah, it is.
And it was kind of that way of
I love
just
that he.
getting on good terms with Scopper Gaban, because we've never really heard Scopper Gaban say anything ever. And to have that
That's
little
true.
moment with him, it's just like, I don't know, it felt meaningful to finally have this character just interact with someone,
Fleshed out,
period.
fleshed out just a bit.
Right? Just that little tiny bit.
It was enough. Also, I I thought Blackbeard Teach gave Ace his scar during the fight with Roger's crew.
Oh no, 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 no,
He
no.
didn't.
Yeah, no.
So that happens at a later time then, one that we haven't actually seen yet.
Exactly. I remember that in the manga because they had that fight, and I remember everyone was waiting for that moment where it's just like, oh man, is this gonna be where or he gets his scar? Is this gonna be where he gets his scar? But the thing about that is it couldn't be that moment because if you'll remember, um we had Shanks at Roger's execution, and he didn't have the scar then either, so it couldn't have happened
Mm.
then.
Oh, okay, okay. So, he must have it must have happened at a later time then.
Yeah, and I'm glad Oda actually kept up with that continuity because that would have been a big hole.
True. Also, I like Shanks's perspective on things because when Buggy brings up Teach and says like, "Hey, he didn't go to sleep at all during like the 3 days and nights we were fighting. He was awake basically the whole time." It's just like that's unnatural. And Shanks is like, "What do you mean? That seems kind of cool. He gets to enjoy the day twice as much as we do. He didn't have to sleep."
Right. I love Shanks's perspective on things.
Yeah, me personally, I'm just like, I don't know what you on about, bro. I would want to get some sleep.
Yeah, I love my sleep. I can't be going without my beauty rest. I'm ugly enough as it is.
Same.
Man, but honestly, it was the best kind of filler, honestly, because they expanded on the fight with between Whitebeard's crew and Roger's crew. We had an expansion of how Odin started to ingratiate himself into Roger's crew. Just nice little moments, and that's the kind of stuff that I love when anime does. It's just like, don't drag stuff out, develop things a little bit more. Give things a little bit more time to breathe. that's something that Oda had actually stated is that he isn't too happy about the fact that he's only given so much time to work on his manga most of the time. He says, if he had 30 pages, he could probably do pretty well with that. But with only usually around 17, it's kind of a hindrance.
Yeah, so he has to like kind of speed things along and just get cut to the chase most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, you can really see that kind of stuff happening when you compare a lot of his earlier stuff to a lot of the stuff that he does now within his art. Because everything, before, he would have these big open shots and, big long action poses, and everything would, he really put a lot of emphasis on things. But with his more modern stuff, he's trying to pack as much as he can into just a few pages at most. So I like more power to him with that
Oh,
struggle. Hmm. Anything else you wanted to say about the episode?
next week we're gonna see some more of Odin's journey with Roger, and I can't wait because this was
Yeah.
the part I was looking forward to so much. It's like, man, I can't wait to see this part get animated. It's gonna be like the most heartfelt, emotional kind of journey, and it's only gonna be just like like an episode or two long,
Yeah,
just
but
covering all the most important bits of it.
it's gonna be packed full because that's the whole like their entire damn near journey across the Grand Line, like right up until they get to the final island. Because we saw clips from Sky Pia, Water 7. Um,
They were in Jaya
yeah,
in this episode.
yeah. So, like, there's a whole shit ton of stuff that's going on, can go on next episode. Although, I don't want them to drag it out too long.
I doubt they will. They'll keep it like the appropriate length because there's a limit to how much well, I'm not gonna say dumb shit, but like there's a limit to how much you can like stretch certain things out without it just being like unnecessarily long. And I think the anime has been getting better about doing that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, much better. Like I might really need to just look up the team that they have working on this section of the anime because they are knocking it out of the park with this shit.
Movie level quality, and I'm just here for it. I'm just
Yes.
here for it. I mean, my God, when the first episode of 2021 dropped, I'm just like, yo, hold up, we watching an episode? I thought this was a movie. We sure? You sure?
Like it looks like
That
a
shit was
special at least, but it's on some hype shit.
it was so crisp and so clean. They're just like, no, no, no. We got to do Wano right. So we're gonna do Wano right, okay? And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with it because
Oh,
that means by the time we get to the fight on Onigashima, shit is gonna be so hype and just so crisp and so clean and just everything I want it to be. Everything.
exactly.
I'm hype. I'm so hype, and I'm so happy to be a One Piece fan right now.
Mm, yes,
But
baby.
that's all I got for One Piece.